Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here, and welcome back to another time-lapse of another diorama build. This diorama here is going to be taking part in the Cold War era, and it's going to be for the famous standoff between US and Soviet forces at Checkpoint Charlie. Now Checkpoint Charlie, or Checkpoint C, was the name given by Western allies to the best known Berlin Wall crossing point between East Berlin and West Berlin during the Cold War, around 1947 and 1991. Now, the checkpoint here was most notable for a really tense standoff between Soviet and US tanks in October of 1961. It resulted in several tanks from both sides sitting there, guns trained on each other, and basically just waiting for the other to react. It was a very tense time, and through negotiations, the Soviet tanks were eventually withdrawn, and after that, the US tanks withdrew shortly after. So a very tense situation and a kind of very important historic moment in one of those times where the Cold War could have actually become a actual war. So I think it was a very fun little build to do. I thought it was a interesting one too. It's kind of a little bit of an urban type environment to it, but also kind of a little different to it. It was a little hard to find pictures and references in terms of building it, but I think that for the most part I really captured the checkpoint pretty well, and at least try to capture the standoff and all that stuff. So I'm going to leave you guys to enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I'll come back here once the time lapse is finished to go ahead and kind of go over an actual in-tour look at this diorama and all that stuff for you guys all to enjoy. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I'll see you guys here shortly.
I know we're acting stupid, we're being dumb, maybe just a little bit foolish, but I feel so young. Just go a little crazy and lose it. I don't care if we're dumb, it's the only way we know how to do it. I feel so young, I know we're acting stupid, maybe just a little bit foolish.
And welcome back, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that time-lapse for the overview of building this diorama Checkpoint Charlie. I thought it was definitely a fun build. It was something a little bit unique and different, and a pretty fun little Cold War type diorama. So again, hopefully you guys really did enjoy it. I had a fun time building it for sure, and I do think it came out really good. So Again, hopefully you all enjoy it. Anyways, we're gonna go and do the kind of the in-depth walkthrough, take a look at the kind of finalized product and see exactly what we got going on over here and all that stuff. Now, to go ahead and begin with, we're gonna talk about the buildings here. Now, these buildings here, this one here to the left is actually still standing today. So it was actually really easy for me to go on Google Street View and actually build the building. And looking at pictures and stuff, it looks like it was the same exact building as it pretty much is today, with a few little changes to it here and there. But yeah, I was actually able to build pretty much really closely to what the actual building looked like that was actually standing here during the standoff in Checkpoint Charlie. So I thought that was really cool, and was really happy that I was actually able to build this building pretty much really close to how it actually looked like in pictures and stuff like that. This other building to the other side here, I'm not 100% sure. This one from pictures, it seemed like there was maybe a field here during the pictures, and this building was constructed afterward, but I didn't really think it looked right having a field here just with the size of the diorama, so I decided to go ahead and build a little townhouse here. And I basically just went through Street View in Berlin and kind of picked a building I thought looked kind of interesting and basically put it in here. So this building here is not entirely accurate per se to the scenario, but I definitely felt that there needed to be a building here at least as well, because I didn't think it looked right not having one. So that's why this building is right there. But anyways, going ahead and focus in on the actual checkpoint itself. The checkpoint itself is really straightforward, really simple. It just basically consists of a very small little guardhouse that you can see here, and you can also see a few little guards here, made use of some banners and some blocks and stuff like that. So kind of thanks to Hill Kaiser a little bit for the inspiration and kind of some ideas when it came to design those guys. But we also have some M48A1 patents here that are basically part of this whole standoff type dealio. So basically they were called in to stand off against some Soviet T-55s that were rolling in on the opposite side of the checkpoint. They basically had guns drawn at each other, and if one of them reacted, they basically had the orders to fire. So it was a very tense scenario, and luckily nothing really came of it. Everything got sorted out politically and all that stuff, so nothing really went down. But yeah, so we have the M48s here on standby, ready to engage the tanks. And right here is kind of like the checkpoint and kind of like the little bit of the Berlin Wall here that kind of goes across here. So you have obviously the Soviet side over there, and you have the American side. Some gates here, closed off roads and stuff like that, and some different barriers here to kind of control traffic a little bit, make it a little bit, you can't just drive straight at them. And then over here on the Soviet side, again, nothing real special here, just a few more barricaded roads, a little bit more kind of worn down over here, and you have two Soviet T-55 tanks that are also kind of standing off against those the patents on the other side there. And this here, it was pretty much the diorama. It's pretty simple, straightforward. It's not really any kind of war scene in particular, but I definitely think that the kind of idea, concept behind it is really cool, and kind of a forgotten little bit of history of something that happened and really could have led to the outbreak of World War III. So anyways, really good stuff altogether. I think it's a fun little diorama, and hope you guys kind of enjoy this as well. I know that there was a suggested comment by, I forget the individual, but thank you for your suggestions. And again, if you have any suggestions for dioramas, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys would like to see built in the future, and definitely try to implement some of your guys' ideas. Anyways, that's going to do for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as we get to it for, and I'll see you guys next time.